they were talking about if we could get Birkins for the Hermes store, and they was also saying how we depreciate the value of a Hermes Birkin. What the it just makes you want to be like, it just makes you want to brag like, you know who you're talking to, but no, I'm not even going to take it there.
Bags carefully handcrafted in China. The viral TikToks from Chinese factory workers, the internet is now in a frenzy over claims that some of the most iconic designer bags are actually born in the...
A lot of requests, do Hermes next. And that's why we're here in the Highland Park Mall.
Made in China. Or maybe made in Italy. Oh yeah, that should be a thing by the...
Is basically a confession. When luxury brands stay quiet during a scandal, they're not protecting their legacy. They're hoping the storm passes before it hits the bottom line. But this time, silence isn't working. Consumers in 2025 aren't the same wide-eyed buyers they were a decade ago. They're smarter, more skeptical, and much more likely to call out what they see as a scam. And Cardi B's comment lit the match. Because here's the thing, Cardi wasn't just dragging Hermès for clout. She was echoing a sentiment that's been bubbling under the surface for years. Luxury fatigue. People are tired of overpaying for items that feel more like a flex than a product of genuine value. When a $25,000 Birkin is made under fluorescent lights on a fast-moving production line, the mystique crumbles. And when that illusion breaks, all you're left with is overpriced leather and a logo. Hermes thrived off scarcity, waitlists, exclusivity. You couldn't just buy a Birkin, you had to be chosen to buy a Birkin. But now, with mass production rumors and insider leaks flying around, that air of superiority is starting to stink of elitism, manipulation, and maybe even fraud. Meanwhile, Cardi B walking away isn't just a fashion statement, it's a cultural signal. When someone who once used Hermès as a symbol of having made it turns her back on the brand, it means the brand no longer holds the same power. And if Hermes can't keep someone like Cardi, who practically helped rebrand the Birkin for a younger generation, then who exactly are they appealing to? Even more damning? Other influencers and celebrities are starting to follow her lead. Quietly, subtly, the shift is happening. More vintage, more indie designers, more sustainable flexes. People are questioning what luxury even means anymore, and brands like Hermes, who rely on secrecy, tradition, and status, suddenly feel outdated. So is this the end for Hermes? Not immediately. Legacy brands don't die overnight, but we are watching the unraveling of a carefully constructed myth. One viral clip, one honest celebrity comment, one factory leak at a time. And in the new luxury era, where authenticity, transparency, and purpose are the new currency, Hermes might find itself holding a very expensive bag with no one left to carry it. Feels like guilt. And when customers feel like they've been tricked into paying designer prices for factory goods, that illusion doesn't just fade, it collapses. Card's comment came at the worst possible moment for Hermès, because behind the scenes, their numbers were already slipping. This year's first quarter earnings were underwhelming. In the Asia-Pacific region, growth barely hit 1.2%, way below the 4% that analysts expected. For Hermes, a brand known for defying downturns, that's not just a red flag, that's a siren. And just as consumer confidence wavers, Hermès is doing the unthinkable. They're raising prices again starting May 1st. Officially, it's part of a growth strategy, but insiders paint a different picture. This isn't growth, it's desperation, it's panic pricing. The brand is playing defense, trying to protect an image that's rapidly unraveling. The strategy? Simple. Sales dip, raise prices, pretend it's because demand is through the roof. But in 2025, buyers are no longer fooled. Social media sentiment is brutal. You're charging more but offering less. And some customers, they're walking away completely. Because if demand were really that high, you wouldn't need to manufacture it with inflated tags and artificial scarcity. And then came the shock from inside Hermès stores themselves. Around the world, something strange is happening. Silence. What were once buzzing luxury boutiques full of velvet ropes, bodyguards, and exclusive whispers are now quiet. Boutique staff are reportedly idle. Foot traffic is dwindling. TikTokers have begun documenting their walk-ins at flagship Hermès stores. No lines, no waitlists, and sometimes no customers at all. The same exclusivity playbook Hermès wrote, it's collapsing fast. Reports are now surfacing that even first-time walk-in customers are being offered Birkins immediately. No bundles, no purchase history, no games. Just a bag. That's unheard of. The Birkin wasn't just a handbag, it was a luxury initiation. You didn't just buy it, you earned it. or so they told us. Now it's being handed out like a sale tote at a department store. And when something once considered unattainable suddenly becomes available, it stops being luxury. With the illusion fading and celebrities like Cardi B distancing themselves from the brand, Hermès is scrambling. Their default response: yet another price hike. May 1st will bring another round of increases. Another attempt to preserve the illusion of exclusivity and value. But the internet isn't having it. One viral tweet said it best: "This isn't about inflation. It's about trying to look expensive when people no longer feel you are. It's like spraying perfume on a rotting house. And when image takes priority over integrity, there's only one outcome: collapse, especially in this era." Today's luxury consumer doesn't play by old rules. They want transparency, proof, purpose. On Reddit, users are dissecting the Hermès illusion. On Instagram, Reels remix factory footage with clown music. On TikTok, creators are stitching receipts, reviews, and side-by-side comparisons into devastating takedowns. Hermès, once the face of quiet, unattainable luxury, is now the main character in a digital teardown. Users aren't impressed by $20,000 Birkins anymore. They're dissecting them like crime evidence. One viral TikTok compared every stitch of a Birkin to a $200 dupe from China and found almost no difference. The comments were brutal. "This isn't luxury, this is label abuse. I paid for legacy." Got factory line BS people aren't just angry, they feel betrayed. For decades, Hermès thrived on artificial scarcity. Waitlists weren't inconveniences, they were rituals. They made buyers feel chosen, special. But now, it all looks like manipulation dressed up in leather and ribbon. Former collectors are posting confessional videos. "I saved for years. Thought I was buying history. I was just buying." Marketing influencers who once flaunted Hermès like a badge of status are deleting posts. Some are even apologizing for promoting a fantasy that turned out to be a scam. This isn't backlash, it's a movement. And this movement wants more than apologies. It's demanding receipts, literally and figuratively. Where are the products made? How are workers treated? Where's the transparency? Because if you can't tell someone where their $20,000 bag came from, why should they trust the price tag? Hermès didn't just get canceled. It got exposed. And it's not just the brand under scrutiny, it's the entire idea of luxury. Cardi B lit the match. Social media poured the gasoline. Her public breakup with Hermès wasn't just a celebrity tantrum, it was cultural detonation. Cardi wasn't a passive fan, she was a megaphone. Every time she rocked a Birkin, prices surged, waitlists swelled, and celebrity demand followed. So, when she turned around and said, "This brand doesn't deserve me," the house of cards began to fall. Influencers panicked. Brand reps scrambled. The resale market flooded. Birkins that were once encased in glass like religious relics? Suddenly they looked cheap. Not in price, but in prestige. One influencer's video summed it up. "It's not a flex anymore, it's a red flag. You're still buying Hermès? Yikes." That's the kind of cultural shift you can't PR your way out of. YouTubers who once worshipped the brand are now posting exposés with titles like, "Hermès duped us all, I have the receipts. My $28,000 mistake. The truth about buying a Birkin. From riches to regret, why I quit Hermès." And these aren't fringe creators. These are trending videos. Even former celebrity collaborators have gone quiet. The elite club that once propped Hermès up is now ghosting it. Because here's the ugly truth. Luxury doesn't just want celebrities. It depends on them. And when those celebrities disappear, the illusion dies. Right now, Hermès is standing in a room full of whispers, except the whispers are turning into screams. So what's next? The brand that once defined elegance is now on the brink. It has two choices: reinvent and reconnect with a new generation, or double down and fade into irrelevance. Because today's buyer doesn't care about boutique drama or mythical craftsmanship, they care about proof. Prove your product is worth the price. Prove your workers are treated fairly. Prove that $20,000 means something more than just hype. And Hermès, they're saying nothing. No statement, no course correction, no accountability. Just another price increase. Meanwhile, TikToks keep going viral, showing identical bags being made in Guangzhou factories right next to low-end brands. Other luxury houses are adapting. Gucci is pushing ethical sourcing. Prada is investing in traceable materials. Louis Vuitton is launching transparency initiatives. And Hermès, acting like this is just another bad news cycle. But this isn't weather, it's a tsunami. In luxury, perception is everything. And the second your product feels like a lie, it stops being a symbol and starts being a warning sign. Let's bring it full circle. Hermès built its empire on scarcity, silence, and seduction. But the internet brought a spotlight, and under that glare, we're seeing the stains. Sales are falling, stores are empty, celebrities are gone, Resale is crashing, influencers are done. The illusion of Hermès as timeless, untouchable luxury? It's dying. Not from one headline, but from a million voices saying the same thing. Cardi B didn't just walk away, she blew the doors off. She reminded the world that luxury without integrity is just marketing in a pretty box. So the question isn't, can Hermès survive this? It's, should it? Because if the craftsmanship is suspect, if the celebrities are ashamed, if the resale value is crumbling, if the internet is laughing, then remind us again, why are we paying $20,000 for a handbag? Or maybe, just maybe, this was always the truth. Luxury was never about quality. It was about the lie we were willing to believe.